For today's video tip, we've chosen a record that has several common errors that we see in our database quite often. We're going to go down the list and correct each one in the proper manner so that everyone can see how these situations should be handled. So if we begin at the top of the page with this record, right away we notice that we have two names. We have John Mitchell Wynn and John Mitchell Wynn Sr. If we go and look at his family, we see that there is another John Mitchell Wynn, a son. So for now we have to assume that the senior is correct. If it's not, somebody who knows this family will probably correct it for us. But first off, we need to get rid of this redundant record. It's a duplicate. The spelling is the same. So we'll delete the one that does not have the senior. Click on delete, and the screen will refresh, and now you see we have one name and it includes the senior on the end. As we go down the list of events on this gentleman's record, we begin to see some that are in error in the way they're formatted. The birth seems to be fine. The formatting on the place name is perfect. City, county, state, country. Under occupation, we notice that there's, although it gives us all the information, it's really not the proper format for this particular entry. So what we'll do is go to the Edit button, click Edit, and it will open the event. Now this man's occupation is service manager. All of this other information is in the wrong category. The agency that he works for is Nichols Auto Shop. So we'll enter that, and we'll delete that information out of the initial box. And we know that this auto shop's in Bloomsburg, so we get down to the place field, and we'll start to type in the name. Now this is an autofill box, so it will bring up the name. We scroll down to it, hit enter, and that will enter the name in the proper manner. So now we have his occupation as service manager at Nichols Auto Shop in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. If you want to save that, this box will close and the screen will refresh. And now we see that we have everything in the proper order in the occupation box. Down to the next box seems to be fine. Next we have born at. This is a redundant event and needs to be in the birth event itself. So we see that he's born at Williamsport Hospital, so we'll go back to his birth event, click at it, and under address, we'll put Williamsport Hospital. Click Save. All of these things are accomplishing one major benefit for us, and that's cleaning up our database. We have a huge database on the server, and we want to be sure that we utilize it properly. Now we have the place he was born at in the birth event, so we can delete born at event. And then next we see that on down the page where we didn't notice it is actually another birth event. And it's a duplicate of the one above, except for the hospital name, so we can delete it. Now we deleted a duplicate event and deleted a redundant repeat event. Now we go on down the page. Lived in is fine. This single event is something that we don't know for sure where it came from. Some genealogical programs create this along with the marriage event. I don't know what purpose it serves, but it's typically redundant. In other words, it's an exact repeat of the marriage event. So we're trying on a daily basis to delete several hundred of these single events. It really cleans up our database. Here in this case, we have to be very careful because we want to be sure that there's nothing in the single event that we do not have in the marriage event. And additionally, we want to be sure that it's the same record number. So if we go to the family record number, we'll notice that this is an identical event. It's actually a repeat of the marriage event. But it does, however, give us some other information. It gives us the church name, which also tells us that this would be a religious ceremony. So before we delete the single event, let's go to the marriage event, click at it, go down to marriage type, and click religious marriage, and then the address would be Newberry Methodist Church. Oops. I'll get this right. Okay, so now we have all the information in the marriage event that was in the single event, and we click Save. Screen will refresh. And now we take note that we have the religious marriage listed and the church that the marriage took place in. So now we can delete the single event. As we move on down the page, everything else looks to be correct. So we have really cleaned up this record to the point where it's concise, to the point, and has accurate information in the proper format. So this has been our tip for the day, and we hope that it help us to keep our records straight, to keep them up to date, and to keep them accurate. Thanks. This has been another Wolfgang Genealogical video tip.